Welcome to season two of Rabbit Holes with Aaron, where we haven't made any drastic changes, but we believe we get better with time. So enjoy the wide constellation of guests that I have on this show. Enjoy our conversations. Hopefully, you get some nuggets and you can learn and grow and become a better person. Thanks for listening. Hello and welcome to Rabbit Holes with Aaron. I'm Aaron, and with me today I have a very special guest. Um, My bonus daughter has chosen to join me. She's an ER nurse. Uh, she's a wonderful person, and she's my bonus daughter. So say hi, Jill.
Hi, Jeff.
That's good. That's good. Thank you. So you had mentioned earlier that you wanted to tell me some ER stories, or at least you wanted to talk about being a nurse.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the easiest thing to talk about.
Okay, well, we'll see what comes up. So we start talking about something, and then when something new comes up, you want to go down, talk about that. You don't even have to apologize. We'll just go talk about the new.
Okay, that sounds good with me.
So, do you have any super funny ER stories?
Ooh, super funny. I don't know how inappropriate can I get on this podcast.
Well, we try and keep it around PG-13, but we do stray into R occasionally. But we definitely don't ever go into X.
Okay, well then I can't do that one.
Oh, this sounds interesting. Can you use kid-friendly terms to talk about stuff?
um, I had a patient who was in prison, and he came in for an infection on his private area.
Mm.
And it's because he put a shiv in there to help pleasure people, and it broke off and caused an abscess.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was
No,
I
thank
think
you.
one of my funniest stories, because it was just so outlandish to have to type up the triage on that patient and explain
Yeah.
to the family why he's going to surgery.
Oh, so the family was interested in that patient as well?
Yeah, as to why he was being admitted to the hospital and what was going on.
Uh, yeah, how do you even do that? You just tell it like it is, or you use the Latin terms for things?
I normally let the doctor deal with
Oh, okay, yeah.
it.
Yeah, I wouldn't I'd be like, "I don't know, the doctor knows." To be like,
Yeah. The X-rays came back, but I'm not a doctor, so he'll have to come and talk about
yeah,
that situation.
yeah, that makes sense. That's very professional.
Yeah. Um, I think one of my coolest stories, it was whenever I was just becoming a new nurse off the floor. It was probably my 3rd or 4th shift, and I had a patient. He was probably 600 pounds and was a hoarder and never really got out of his house. And he called the ambulance because he fell down and he couldn't get back up. And so they went into the house, saw what the house looked like, helped the patient get up, and realized that um, there was kind of a pool of liquid kind of soaking on the ground. They noticed his pants were really soaked, and they told him, "Hey, you should really go to the hospital." And he denied, denied, denied. And then finally they talked him into going. And as he came into the ER, the smell, like, hit the entire ER.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he was my patient,
Was it
and
like urine or
no, so whenever it was time to take off his pants, we got scissors, raptors, and started cutting his pants off, and as we were taking his pants off, his skin was peeling off
Ugh!
with the pants. So, the
Oh.
pants were decomposing on him. He had worn them for 6 months straight.
Mm. Oh, that's what happens when you wear pants that long. I had no idea.
Yeah. So PSA to change your pants.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to Jill's been trying to get me to change my pants every day. She's mostly successful.
I'm glad.
Oh, I can almost smell it.
I can't get the smell out of my head,
Oh,
so
no. That's terrible.
but now I can handle almost anything because that was the worst smell I ever smelled.
Hmm. Wow. It resets your nose standards.
Yes, for sure.
I didn't even know that could well, I guess I kind of knew that could happen. I smelled a lot of terrible things in the Marine Corps and saw a lot of terrible things, heard a lot of terrible things, and now not much shocks me anymore. Ask Jill. She'll be like, "Oh my gosh," and I'm just standing there looking. Anyway.
We're both staring at her right now.
Oh, yeah, she's laughing. So, this is good. This is you can't see it, but believe me, you can probably feel it because it's just a happy thing. But yeah, that's interesting. I've never thought about that before, how, like, when I haven't heard something before, how tuned into it I am, and maybe it's annoying, like
Mm,
the smell. Or if it's not that annoying and I'm not that tuned into it, then sometimes I even ignore things that Jill picks up on.
like what? Give me an example.
Jill hears my hearing aids when they aren't in my ears all the way because they just at a
Oh,
really
I've
high.
heard that before
Okay,
too.
there you go. I don't hear it. I'm just doing along, no big deal. And she's like, "Could you push your hearing aid back in?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry, but I can't hear it. But you can hear it. Other people can hear it." There's just the other cool thing I have with this like electronic lighter that I keep in the door of the truck, and it's charged by battery. And so, but when I press it, it puts these little double like plasma beams that you can burn stuff with. The problem is it gives off this frequency
Mhm.
that everybody else, because I took it on like a nighttime hike before, and everybody, so when I clicked it, well, my daughter was like, "What's that noise?" Because she was in the car with me at the time. And she was like, "What is that noise?" I was like, "Oh, it's a lighter." And so then I carried it in my back pocket and I got behind the whole group of people on the moonlight hike and I just clicked it behind me
Mhm.
and people started like looking around and like, "What's that noise? Is that you? What is it?" And like the whole group was like going crazy and all I was doing was pushing it down. I didn't push it. Abby, my daughter, knew what I was doing. And after about 3 seconds of driving everybody nuts, she's like, "Dad, stop." And I
That's
put it in
funny.
my pocket and I stopped. But yeah. So there's annoying sounds that sorry. There's annoying sounds that I like everybody else can hear and I can't hear. Like hearing the birds sing, and that's my last example. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go on and on to this about this, but the hearing the birds sing used to wake me up at like 5:30 outside the RV or whatever. Now I don't hear the birds sing anymore without my hearing aids in, so I can sleep right through it.
Oh, that's smart. Just take the hearing aids out.
Yeah, well, I don't sleep with them, so yeah. So there's some things. Do you ever feel like you hear things other people don't hear?
Um, no. I feel like I'm actually more on the deaf side
Oh, okay.
and selective hearing side.
Yeah, okay. Selective hearing is powerful. That's a good rabbit hole. Like, selective hearing, I use that all the time. Like,
Hopefully not on my mom.
no. Oh, I see what you're saying. When she's telling me something important and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Doo, doo, doo," just go keep playing my video game, don't even listen about cleaning up my laundry. I used to do that to my mom, but I don't have to do that with Jill. But I do it sometimes actually with Jill, but not in a way obviously not in the way you would expect. When she's on the phone with somebody else, like yourself or Dan, like, I just completely she could be sitting right beside me on the phone. I am not listening. She'd be like, "Yeah, did you hear what's going on for Dan?" And I'm like, "I have no idea what you were talking." Like, I'm in my own world. Maybe I'm playing on my phone, looking on Facebook. Maybe I'm looking out the window. I just can turn it off and, like, not pay attention to that. I mean, I guess if she said errand, then I'm like, "Oh, what you talking about?" But other than that, she usually doesn't, so it's a different kind of selective listening.
Mm.
I wonder about, like, people, and that's why I asked you. 'Cause I think there are people, like, that can hear things, smell things, see things other people can't.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that is a good kinda inference into, like, drugs.
Oh, yeah?
I feel like a lot of people on different kind of drugs can hear and see things that other
Mm,
people might not, but it's very real to them, and I've had that experience a lot of times with people in the ER
yeah.
on fentanyl, or other heavy duty medications coming in.
Oh, really? So they are actually do you okay, so that sounds kinda creepy, right?
Yeah,
Like, you're standing there doing their blood pressure, and they're like, "No, it's okay, leave it over there," and you're like, "Who are you talking to?" "Oh, yeah, no, it's fine, that's John, he's over in the corner. He's my ghost guide or something."
exactly, yeah, and I had one guy, who thinks that he's Lucifer and that he's gonna end the world.
Mm,
Um, and so that's always been fun because he talks to his demon friend, while you're taking care of him.
ah. Do you know their names? Do we need to write them down?
No, no, I don't think he's Lucifer.
Oh,
He's just
oh,
a,
darn.
person that needs help.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's and I'm glad you're getting the hang of it. You went down that rabbit hole without even looking over your shoulder, so that was perfect. And now I'm gonna take your rabbit hole, and I'm gonna take it even in a different direction of, like, do you think there's benefits and, like I mean, right now, like, they're working on marijuana being legal and cannabis or at least it changed classifications, and then there's the psilocybin and all the different hallucinogenic things. Do you know anything about positive hallucinogenic effects?
Yeah, I do. There is a medication that's kind of new on the market, about 2 years, I think, don't quote me on it, but it's ketamine induction.
Okay.
So it is in a room for about 20 minutes and you have a ketamine drip going. So you're slightly in a hallucinative state while people ask you questions and kind of help connect the neuropathies from past trauma and connect them together. So it's about 6 weeks of this type of counseling equates
Okay.
to 6 months to a year of just regular sit down once a week
Oh, I can
counseling.
believe it. Yeah. Okay. I've seen something about that, I think, on Facebook, like an advertisement. Yeah. And I've heard, well, and to add more details, I have actually you drummed up my memory, but I remembered that, like, I got invited to participate in some kind of hallucinogenic conference for veterans, supposed to be therapy minded, like in South America,
Hmm.
but it was like $2,500 a person. It was like in the forest of Peru or something. And I was like, "You got a military discount?" And they were like, we gave that away to other veterans." And I'm like, "Okay, well, never mind. I can't afford $2,500 to go down there." Um, but yeah, I can see. So people are finding ways to use it legitimately to help people with trauma.
Hmm. Definitely.
I like that. That is so controlled. Because I just see on Facebook like they have little where they see a sealed pocket of pills like with aluminum foil or whatever, and you just pop one out or whatever. It says ketamine. It shows like 12 pills in one of these, you know, pill. It's just pill wrapping is what it is. You normally
Hmm.
get in your Benadryl or anything else. So I've seen that's what I've seen on the pictures, but I didn't know, but that makes sense, and I like that it's, like, measured and there's a counselor there.
Hmm.
And be I've and I was gonna say too, I've recently heard that, like, a lot of times when people that use psilocybin, they can set it up and have a trip setter there and, like, have a ritual mode or have a counseling mode, and I had this idea, which I haven't done. But I have this idea of, like, if you could be, like, a counselor trip sitter and have people on psilocybin, sorry, I always like to say the P, I don't know why, but psilocybin and, like, I'm in charge and I'm completely sober, and I'm in charge of setting what's on TV and the lights and the music for the different phases of their hallucination or whatever, and also for safety and protection, I
Yeah,
thought I
there's definitely a market out there, it sounds like. You gotta go ahead and patent that real quick.
Yeah, I gotta move to a legal state or something. I don't know. But yeah, I was daydreaming about that the other day with a friend. So, any of those topics give you anything you would like to talk about more?
Um, I don't know. I guess we can just keep
Okay, yeah.
going.
So, you got more ER stories?
Oh gosh.
Well, I've heard of a few back in the day, not from me, but there was a list a long time ago, and it's probably okay to share it now. And that is like stories from ER nurses, and it was like every story was like a couple sentences.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think of okay, I'm trying to make it appropriate for a podcast. So there was this one lady that uh a female that came in for emergency care treatment, and she was complaining of pain in her stomach,
Mhm.
in her abdomen area. And so they looked everywhere. Her stomach was fine. Her stomach, her actual literal organ called stomach was fine, but there was still something going on. So they did an X-ray and they found a whole chicken
Oh wow.
shoved up inside of another orifice,
Yeah.
and it wasn't doing good up there. As a matter of fact, it was really old and rotting.
Oh goodness.
And I don't even know what the backstory is, but we could guess at the backstory. But then they were like, and oh, she had a paper clip. No, she had a diaper pin holding it shut to hold the chicken inside.
Huh.
Yeah, I was like,
I haven't had that similar story, but we have had a hot dog in that same similar orifice.
oh, okay,
And that patient did have to go to emergency OR surgery.
because
Because once you get something past the sphincter of your rectum, it
oh,
cannot come back out.
oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm glad I didn't know that. Number one. Number two, I'm gonna need to. I guess I need to know that going forward. I hope I never need to know that, but. Okay. Let's go back to funny ER stories. No, I don't know. Was there any spooky? Like you said, people were talking. You said the guy was Lucifer, but did he act like scary, or was he just like nonchalant? Like, hey, by the way, I'm Lucifer.
Um, I think one of my scariest ER stories is it's still kind of funny, but it was whenever I actually got attacked by a patient. This
Hmm.
was last April. She tested positive for amphetamines, and I guess was on a really bad trip. She wasn't my patient, but the nurse that was her primary caretaker had a pretty heavy load, with her other 3 patients as well, so me and one of my coworkers decided that we were gonna help straight past this patient, which is, putting a tiny tube in to get urine from the urethra.
Okay.
So she was sedated. It had been about an hour after the sedation. And we went in, we raised her bed up, we tilted her backward, we ran her blood pressure to make sure that she was asleep. There was no stir, no activity. So we verbally kind of told her, okay, we're gonna pull your pants down. This is what we're gonna do. Everything was fine until we got to about the knees of the pants, and she flung out of this bed that was about 3 feet in the air, and jumped down and just started swinging. So my coworker was able to get out in time, but as she was swinging, the door slammed shut and she hit me in the face. I was able to get the door open in time and hide behind the door. And then 2 of our men came in and helped settle the situation. But that was definitely a scary
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, that's scary. And you're
Yeah.
kind of trapped.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm glad I was smart about hiding behind the door.
That's a good recovery. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that story.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of things that, ER nurses have to go through, and one of the important ones is possibly getting assaulted by their own patients that they're trying to take care of.
Yeah. Yeah, that does seem scary. You're not ready for it. I bet you wanted to wear football pads next time you went in or something.
Yeah, a helmet.
Just in case. Yeah. Well, thank you for what you do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was always something on my heart since I was 13 to be a nurse, and I'm glad that I get to do that.
Yeah, tell us more about what made you wanna be a nurse.
It was my grandfather. He was kind of in and out of the hospital a lot when I was growing up. He was, um, what is it called? I'm blanking on the word.
That's okay.
Exposed. He was exposed to Agent Orange in the
Okay.
Vietnam War, so he had a lot of, respiratory and heart problems.
Mm,
That was luckily paid by the government since it was due to him being on tour.
okay.
Um, but he had a heart attack when I was 13, and there was a nurse there. It was at Charlton, Methodist Charlton, and she was just so sweet, and I could tell my grandpa was in a lot of pain, but she knew who me and my brother was when we walked in
Mm,
and said, "Your grandpa talks about you all the time," and just put a smile on my grandpa's face, and I knew right then that I wanted to be like her and
mm.
help people in pain and make them feel like a person and not just a diagnosis.
Yeah.
So that kinda started my walk on becoming a nurse.
Have you been able to do that? Has it lived up to the reality that you
Um
attached to back
I
then?
think so. I think I always remember my why, which is being the hands and feet of Jesus, but it's definitely hard. Um, excuse me. It's definitely hard whenever, you have a lot of patients that don't really need to be there,
Mhm.
and you have a huge influx of 90 to 100 people in your ER, and there are only 7 nurses,
Mm,
and patients get mad at you and wonder why they're being seen in the lobby and not in the back, and they're upset about not having a blanket in time whenever you're coding the person next door, and so it's really hard to, have compassion for everybody, and that was something that I didn't realize till I actually got into the field
mm.
and into actual nursing, that it is hard to give your everything to every single person.
Yeah. Yeah, and, you get to see them on perhaps the worst day of their life too,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you gotta do a job, but you're still doing it.
Yes, I am. Yeah, it pays the bills.
Well, and I'm sure every once in a while, maybe even at least for the first 10 people that you're, like, super cool.
Yeah. No, I am. And there's always some of those shifts where it's like, "Man, this is why I wanted to be a nurse."
Okay, well,
So,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, good, I love that. I want that for you so much. I wish every person was that way for you. Yeah, nurses are special.
Mhm.
Well, I can tell you the only thing I wouldn't like it, I would really be upset about a nurse with.
Yeah?
You wanna know what that is?
What would that be?
Well, first of all, and you'll probably guess once I tell you this first part about me, I I don't even know what the right word for not liking needles at my level. Like, even thinking or saying the word needle and my stomach just kind of it
Balls up a little?
it jerks a little bit, it pulses, I call it flips over. And the crazy ironic part was I used to give myself shots with the long needle of my medicine for MS into my
Well, when you're doing it yourself, it's a little
no, no,
easier.
no, no, no,
No?
no. I did not. Usually do something over and over again, you get better at it, it doesn't hurt as much, and for me, it's always miserable. It was never easy to just go 1, 2, 3, bloop, and watch that needle go down on my leg. I've never had surgery. Well, I've had surgery for only one thing, but it was not due to life crisis or anything. It was just for not having kids again or any more kids because I had 2. But yeah, needles, and I have a theory about it. The theory is a little bit more about me. When I was a kid, I had stitches 7 times before I was 7 years old.
Hmm,
I've had them in my hands 3 times, my forehead, my chin, my foot.
you were a clumsy kid.
I was an active kid. And, only time, I'm Gen X too. So the only time I came home was like, hey, mom, I'm bleeding again. and, and something's ripped open on me and behind the ear too. So that leads to the needles because, like, in the hands especially, they were like, "Gonna be really sensitive. We're gonna do an anesthetic and but it burns a little bit."
Mhm.
And so I think, like, at the age of 4, whenever I got my first stitches and they did that needle that was supposed to make the pain go away, and it stung and it feels weird to go in, number 1. It stings instead, and I'm just like and whenever my mom and dad were like, "Well, looks like you're gonna do stitches," I'd say, Do they have to have a needle? Do they have to do the pain relief?" And, like, ever since then and maybe I was just born that way, but I have hated needles, and I allow them to do it. I was in the Marine Corps. I've been stuck hundreds of times with all different kinds of needles, and I've learned how to breathe, turn away, not look, think about something else. I survived, right?
Mhm.
But if they start rooting around in my arm for a vein, which one of the reasons I stay in shape. So if they
So
ever
your
have to
veins pop?
take blood, they don't have to miss. They don't have to. I've got really tender, not naive especially, but really low use veins and arteries.
Mhm.
So they, but and I was so it wasn't a nurse that did it, but I was in the Marine Corps and it was a Navy corpsman, and they were like, couldn't seem to find the vein with this needle rooting all around on my arm. Oh, let's do the back of your hand because I can't find it there. And he's moving it around. I turned white, broke into sweat, and almost passed out, fell off the table.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I instant one time, and this is my last story, but one time, like, I was giving blood
Mhm.
and they just pulled the needle out. I passed out. I lost 30 seconds. I don't even know what happened.
Oh, no.
In the middle of a joke. I was telling them a joke. They pulled the needle out, put the thing on. I passed out. Next thing I know, I'm waking up with smelling salts in my nose and cold cloths on my neck.
Was it just seeing the needle coming out of your arm or
I didn't even see it. Just to change your blood pressure sometimes can do a like little wobble or something
Uh-huh.
when that big of a needle is pulled out, or I don't know. I don't know why. I've tried to explain it, but I lost. They said you were out 30 seconds. But the thing is, once I woke up, I was like, so I told the rest of the joke, like the last
Yeah.
line of the joke, like I had never been gone. Like for me, it was the same second.
Wow.
But they were like, "You were out for 30 seconds after we pulled that needle out." And it wasn't blood went anywhere. It wasn't, I don't know why. I didn't even know they pulled the needle out. You're sitting there talking, telling a story. They're over here like, "We're gonna pull the needle out in a second," and they pull it out. And I'm just like, "Get out!" But I still gave blood.
That's
But
good.
but yeah. So if there was a nurse that ever wasn't good at giving an IV on my veins or wherever.
I can see your vein
I
right
know
here just
exactly.
looking at it.
They can't really mess up on it. And every time I show them to the VA, I'm like, whichever one works the best for you. They're like, oh, both of those are good.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, needles. I don't even know why I don't like them, but
Well, I like doing the needles, I don't like receiving needles.
oh, really?
Yeah. But I'll do it if I have to, but I'm also a hard stick, so it always is
Oh,
frustrating.
yeah, finding.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
I never experienced that myself, but like a previous relationship, she was a preemie. She had health problems her whole life. Her veins were like they would just roll away and move and hard to find. And so I'd have to watch her get stuck 4 or 5 times. Eventually, they go into, like, one in the leg with the
Yeah.
surgeon.
Yeah, a femoral vein.
"Oh, thank you. None of that." But I wonder, since you can tolerate it, and if I can distance myself back from thinking about it enough, like, what does it feel like sticking a needle? Is it like sticking a needle into roast beef or any other kind of meat?
Um, I don't
I'm
think
trying to I'm
so.
trying to sit with this thought. Go ahead, sorry.
It's pretty easy. It kinda just feels like butter, like, going
Okay.
so if you were to stick something a needle in butter, that's kinda what it feels like.
Okay. 'Cause, like, I put myself in life or death situations all the time. It's the nature of being a Marine, it's the nature of being a man to some extent, and it's the nature of being a guy who's my age. and I watch a lot of movies. So, so like, I think about like, what if Jill was dying and I had to get a needle into her arm? I mean, I don't even know. Like, under the worst scenario, if I could do it, I think I could.
I bet you could.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I have a cousin. He's also a nurse's assistant or something, and he has to do IVs. And he's like, he's practicing on himself. I'm like,
Mhm.
there's no place, there's no world, there's no dimension where I would be practicing with the needle on myself. I did have to give myself medicine, and I did that because Ben and Jerry's. That's why.
Yeah. I've never done it myself, but I've had coworkers that have done IVs on themselves, and I don't think I could do it.
I don't know. I don't know how I access the survival region of my brain when it comes to needles, like, instantly. I'm like, "Nope." Even if I wanted to survive, I couldn't do it. It's my time. When it's your time, it's your time. I don't have to give myself a needle.
Well, I mean, speaking about Survivor and, like, apocalypse stuff, I think we would already kinda be down and done because we have glasses. So the moment our glasses are gone, we're kinda out.
I do have contact lenses too, and I
Who's
have
gonna be
backup
making
glasses.
who's gonna be making contact lenses in the apocalypse?
I've got 4 packs. Those can last me a long time.
Alright.
Well, in high school, I only had 2 sets of plastic contact lenses. I got them at 16 for my 16th birthday, and I just one for each eye. Luckily, my eyes were the same strength. Unluckily, I wore them not every day. I took them out every night, washed them. I was good contact lens wearer. These things were precious.
Mhm.
My parents couldn't afford these any other time, and I was working a job, and I couldn't afford them as a general rule. So it's like when one ripped or when one was lost, which rarely happened, but when it did happen, from washing them every day before I put them away or whatever, one day you wash them, it rips. I would just rotate the one contact from one eye to the other to go to high school. I'd leave them in this eye on Monday, and then they'd be in this eye on Tuesday. This eye on I just rotated
Uh-huh.
until I could afford to buy another contact. It might be weak.
Wow. Would you be able to see?
Yeah, I would still ride my bicycle to school or driving my car or whatever. You can see out of one eye.
I just think that's so crazy. I don't think I could do that.
I
You're
joke.
admitting this to the public.
That's okay. You know what? It really illustrates how hard it is to get nice things in my family growing up, which I didn't get to choose that. I didn't spend any money, but it's fun. But also, that's how I know my contacts could survive at least for a couple years.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I guess you're talking about you couldn't get anybody to make you new glasses.
Yeah, I don't think that there would be any new prescription glasses or prescription contacts. So all of us
Hmm.
people that can't see without them, we'd kinda be out of luck in the apocalypse.
Well, if these were destroyed, then I was probably destroyed too because
Yeah,
I was wearing them, so I don't have to worry about it. If I'll feel so lucky if my glasses are destroyed and I'm not,
yeah,
that I'll just but you're right, I'd be useless at close range because 'cause I'm nearsighted. So, I can if I don't have to touch the book to my nose to read it, but it's pretty dark.
yeah. So you're pretty blind.
Yeah. I think I'm 2,400 natural.
Okay.
So not 20/20,
Yeah,
2,400. 20 on one side, 400 on the other side. So, things that are 20 feet away, I can see them like they're 400 feet away.
that's crazy.
Legally blind, but through the miracle of glasses,
You can drive.
I can see 20/20. Yeah. Isn't here's another topic. Have you ever noticed how many people need glasses that don't have them?
No. Expound on that.
Okay, so I was an Uber driver
Uh-huh.
for about 9 months. about 6 years ago for about a 9-month period. And as an Uber driver with 20/20 corrected vision, I could see things. I could see the signs. I could read all the signs a long ways away, even at night. And so the people riding behind me would be like, "Where's the sign? How do you see that?" And I'm like, "Right there, whatever. Let's make up a name. Monroe Avenue. It says it right on the green sign over there." And like, "Where's the green sign?" And like I started noticing my passengers. I'm like, "Can you see the sign?" "Wow, what does that sign say?" And they're like, "I can't see it."
Wow.
And so I wouldn't hit anybody up to make them feel bad, but I was just gathering data, which is if you don't know driving for Uber or Lyft or something, you get all kinds of good data on human beings and where they're at,
Uh-huh.
right? Or it could be bad. It could be, well, all data is good data for me, even like I got stabbed or something like that. But I never got stabbed. But but you watch some videos on TikTok and the guy's driving for Uber and somebody's trying to get a free ride, or they have dash cams that record what's going on when they're driving for Uber.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how many people do need glasses now because, I mean, given a few hundred years ago, there wasn't even the invention of glasses.
Mm.
So, like, how many people were just walking around blind or were none of them blind?
You're getting the hang of this. And the next rabbit hole is like I've been seeing these ads for these. They look like sunglasses, but they're just little holes in the screens, and they're supposed to fix your vision problem,
Hmm.
train different muscles in your eye. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't look at the cost to validate how realistic that sounds for $5 or for $100, but these people, I've seen the ads over and over again, and it's just a lot of little holes where the lens is.
Oh, nothing. Uh,
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to, depending on their cost, I'm gonna have to give those a shot to see because they can't get any worse, you know what I'm saying? I'm already bad enough vision-wise, yeah. I mean, I love corrected vision, but then again, going back, I got my first set of glasses when I was in 2nd grade. Because they had put me in the back row and I was squinting to see the board.
Uh-huh.
I could see it when I squinted, but now.
Yeah, I remember that happening to me as well.
Mm,
My brother got glasses and I did not want glasses, and
mm,
I would kind of lie to myself looking at the board, and I would, disguise me being always being a teacher pet. I would like to sit in the front, but I had to sit in the front so I could see. So
mm,
it's kind of in middle school that finally, didn't pass, and I needed to get my glasses, and
mm.
that kinda sucks having to change the way I looked in middle school, because girls are
Yeah,
bullies in middle school.
yeah, a lot of mean girls.
Yes.
And it centers around your appearance more than anything else, which I mean, I guess how else can you judge people, but still, right? We're
Yeah.
all kinda like, "I don't even know who I am. Yeah, give me some clothes to try. I don't know if I like them or not. Oh, yeah, and by the way, go to school with other kids."
Mhm. Yeah, that's why a lot of middle schools now, they make them do uniform for
Okay.
that exact reason, for bullying on types of clothes that people wear.
Yeah. Hmm. I was thinking about glasses to go back to that rabbit hole and then go in a new direction. Like, I think if I think the appearance is a real drawback. I don't think people are just wandering around, not even knowing they're blind, but it's like they don't want the look of glasses
Yeah, or they can't afford it.
or they can't afford it. Well, the Lions Club will give you free glasses
Oh,
or
really?
get you a cheap set.
Give me that, link.
Lions Club, just look
Link
it
down
up.
in the bio, guys.
I mean, that's how I got glasses all through growing up. My parents didn't have any money, but Lions Club provided a basic set of glasses for me as a kid. And my brother, and this is another case study, and I love brothers because they give you a lot of data as well. My middle brother, Tim, he wanted to look cool for kids. Like he asked for clothes at Christmas, right? Cool clothes to wear to school, to middle school and to 5th grade. I think he'd probably been at the time. But yeah, anyway, so he cared about appearance, so he didn't wear his glasses. His eyes were not as bad as mine, but now he's wearing glasses. And that reminds me of another thing about glasses that I've been wanting to think about, and that is I noticed in the mirror I put on my contacts the other day. I hadn't worn my contacts in a while, honestly, but I put in my contacts and I, like, just have to be doing stuff, and by the way, I don't line up with my mirror in here. So my mirror in here, I get to see the top of whatever my shirt is because it's shorter. Jill can see her face in there, but I have to, like, either crouch down like this. So I don't normally day to day see myself. Um, and so I saw myself in a mirror somewhere else, and I was like, "Oh, that's what I look like without glasses." And it's like glasses to some extent, maybe even more for me because my vision is so bad, so my glasses have to be thicker. Like they
Mhm.
block a certain part of our face.
Mhm.
That's why maybe they're such an effective disguise. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that me without glasses versus me with glasses is a very different person. I think glasses can be seen as like a fashion statement as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, thank goodness, right? Because Jill can get fashionable glasses. You got fashionable glasses. You can pick glasses to go with your outfit. Jill had, like, some magnetic glasses she could put
Yeah,
different
different
fronts on
patterns. Yeah.
to go with what she's wearing. I thought that was the coolest idea ever, but they didn't they didn't work out for a couple of reasons, but yeah,
Why
it's
didn't they
interesting.
work out?
They didn't work out because there was like a sunglass front that you popped on, and the sunglasses were kinda cheap and they scratched up really easy, and the colors kinda changed. So, all the other the lenses stayed on there, but just magnetically clap different colors on the outside or the sunglasses, and the
Mhm.
sunglasses were kinda chintzy.
Mhm.
So, you couldn't even I mean, I they were all blurry and scratched up and, like, stained somehow that I couldn't wipe off with even a cleaner. So, I don't know what was going on with them, but they just seemed like cheap sunglasses.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, let's do a test, and let's take off our glasses. I think I'll be able to see you over there, and
Okay.
we'll see how different we look.
I can still see you. You're just a little blurry on the edges.
I mean, not without vision, but, like, without the glass without the appearance change. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Oh,
See
like
if you
our
look
face. I
see
don't I don't think you look that different,
no?
but it might be me being blind.
Yeah, you're pretty blurry for me over here, but like I said, my vision I mean, I think I don't know what it is. It's not even the lenses. I can see your eyes just as clear as before, but
Well, I think
I guess I can't see your eyebrows quite as good
what
on
I
some of
think
the
is interesting is putting on my contacts, which I haven't had contacts in a while, but my glasses will be the same, number or prescription,
Sure.
but I feel like I see clearer with my contacts when I do my
When
glasses.
I know why.
Oh, yeah? Enlighten me.
Because your contacts also correct your peripheral vision. Whereas with this, you got a whole wide bands on every side that you're not correcting.
Mm,
And so you can even read your with the peripheral vision because things will be clear, crystal clear. And that's a big change, you know, from being able to see wherever I need to look and being able to see everything correct.
yeah.
And so that I think that at least that's my theory for your situation. I noticed that with my eyesight as well. So you a couple more years of wearing glasses and contacts. But
Yeah, just a couple more on me.
when I got to notice too how blurry it was on one side without a contact and how corrected it was on the other side, so you got to really examine all the differences.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to drive without your glasses?
Um, there was one time I was in the car with mom, and we were driving to Mamaw and Papa's, my grandparents, and it was really bright, the sun was in my eyes, and I had my glasses on. And mom was like, "Well, just take them off and put the sunglasses on, like, you'll be able to see fine." And so I put the sunglasses in on, and immediately I could not see the white lines on the
Oh,
road.
no.
And we were going, on a turn, and I'm just
Oh,
in the
no.
middle of 2 lanes, and mom's like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh,
Put your glasses
put
back
your gla"
on.
yeah, "Put your glasses back
I
on."
know how she can be in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make her a special sticker that says "bonus backseat driver" or something.
Yes, definitely.
Anyway, I wouldn't say all that if she wasn't here listening, so I'm not saying it behind her back 'cause she's smiling over there.
We're saying it in front of her back.
Anyway, so yeah. Oh, yeah, so I have a story about having to drive without my glasses one time
Okay.
because I made the mistake. Okay, so in the background, once a year, around once a year in the Marine Corps, you have to go and do gas chamber training.
Mhm.
And so for gas chamber training, they're very clear, like, don't wear contacts. They say they can melt in your eyes, but I don't know if that's true or not. Um, but I did. I wore contacts to the gas chamber.
Wow.
Now I took them out before I went in,
Uh-huh.
realizing that I had forgot to bring glasses to wear after the gas. Yeah, I don't know if you know how the gas chamber works, but I'll give you a quick story about it. And that is, like, I went to the gas chamber. Well, I'll combine all the gas chambers to a quick story. So you cycle into the gas chamber. There's not really very much gas in yet. You
So they would make you go in there with the gas on
I
as a
forgot. No,
test?
I missed the step, but it doesn't make it better. So you put on your gas mask. They teach you, they remind you with a little bit of training how to put on your gas mask, how to don and clear it. That's what it's called, to get any gas in there out and to start breathing fresh air in. They have a filter. They teach you everything about your gas mask. So that's the first part that I forgot to tell you. You put your gas mask on, you go in the gas chamber. Then, if it fits right, you're breathing normally. And they're like, we want to make sure it fits right. So do jumping jacks. So everybody gets around all the outsides of the room and the gas is kind of burning in the middle and you're all doing jumping jacks, except for the one or two guys that don't have their gas mask on. Those guys are doing flopping jacks. They're on the ground trying to breathe,
Oh, wow.
snot coming out of their nose, tears coming out of their eyes, everything burning. Because this the most, because in the Marine Corps, I don't know if you know this, but we don't water it down at all. As a matter of fact, we want it to suck more in training, because if it sucks more in training, then
You'll weed out
in real
the
life, well, no, because in real life won't be as hard as that.
okay.
So we've experienced something worse. And this is, I guess, an interesting class on the Marine Corps. So anyway, put on my gas mask. We're all jumping jacks, except for a couple guys, and they're like having problems. They're bent over or they're flopping on the ground or whatever. They're getting oxygen. They're just getting the other stuff too. And so there's instructors in there. There's instructors in there, and they're like, they see a guy over there, and they go over and help him. They're like, "Hey, on and clear." And if they have to, they walk him back out.
Okay.
So it's not like we're just sorry if you died in gas chamber. No, there's people there for safety to make sure everybody's okay. But anyway, then they're like, okay, it seems like everybody's in here has their gas mask on right. So what you're going to do now is take it off. And when I first got in the Marine Corps changed over time. When I first got in the Marine Corps, just take off your gas mask and hold it at your side. Okay, now put it on. Go. Like you put it on, you don and clear it. You have the gas burning your face and neck, and you have the effects on your nose and your eyes crying nonstop, and all this stuff. But you don and clear it, and then you give them a thumbs up when you're breathing normal oxygen. You stand there normal, and you give them a thumbs up, and then when everybody's thumbs up around the whole room, then they're like, cycle you back out. And
Mhm.
you're probably in the gas chamber for maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10. And most of the time, you wouldn't even know it. I mean, you can feel some burning. It burns when it touches your skin because it's like a little crystal.
Yeah.
I know more about CS gas than probably the people that know it because I've experienced it. But never in a riot. That stuff is weak, but in a Marine Corps gas chamber. Anyway, so I had to come back out of there, and whenever you come out, you take off your gas mask and they tell you to keep moving because the gas keeps on coming off of people because it's stuck in your camis,
Uh-huh.
it's stuck in your hair if you're a girl. It's like and when one person walks, the wind's blowing it back off behind them in a trail. So you can actually get gassed enough off a person just walking outside with the wind blowing on them to have a complete gas CS gas reaction. So they say to walk as fast as you can and walk that way into the wind, take your mask off. You start shaking everything off and knocking it off of you. You almost invariably you have something on your face that itches. And like if I reached up to my face and scratched it, it would start burning there.
Wow.
And on the same time, your nose, you had a clear nose before you went in, your nose is congested and it's just like snot runs down and out and onto your clothes. And tears are running down and out in your clothes. And that's just a little bit on the outside after the gas station. But then I put my clothes in the back of the truck and went home because I was driving without my glasses. I got home, went inside, took a shower, everything. Forgot about those clothes. They sat out there in the truck, and I had to go back out and get them. And I went out and get them to put in the wash machine, and I got exposed to gas again because the crystals just sit there, and then they get back in the air, and they kind of float in the air, and then they hit your face or wherever you breathe them in a little bit. But that's not a full. That was kind of weak. That was really, really weak. It's just like you blow your nose and you're done. So, yeah. So I had to drive home, and this is the part that I need to tell you the driving home without glasses.
Mhm.
So not only am I recovering, your neck burns like a bad sunburn, your face burns like wherever the gas mask wasn't at, eye on your cheeks and on your forehead and on your neck and on your arms, they burn it. It just feels like a burning sensation, like a sunburn until you wash it off. And so I'm driving with this and driving home, and it's a 30-minute drive, and I'm not wearing glasses, and my vision wasn't as bad as it is now, but my vision's not that good. I'm glad they make stop signs as big as they do.
Yeah,
And I'm glad they make stoplights, traffic lights as bright as they do.
I bet.
And if I had to read something, that wasn't gonna happen.
Well, good thing you probably knew how to get home.
I've driven that route home 100, if not thousands of times. So I had a few things in my corner, but I couldn't imagine driving at night without my glasses. I would be lost. You might as well just sit there. I might as well sit in the field because I'm just not even going to know where I am when I get there,
Yeah.
you know, being as blind as I am. But anyway, a couple of stories.
Thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah. And a little bit about the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah. We train harder than war would be a lot of times. So when war happens, we're just like, huh, it's interesting. There's all sand here. You know, there's no trees. We're just looking around, I guess, relaxed and calm and ready to face whatever happens. What did they say? You sweat in training or bleed in war.
Hmm, I like that.
And Marine Corps would take it a step further and say bleed in training and don't get hurt more. I guess. But anyway, a little bit about my Marine Corps past. And thanks for asking those questions. And man, it's been an interesting journey down these rabbit holes with you. And thank you for taking me to all different kinds of topics.
Yeah, thank you for having me and letting me talk a little bit.
You're welcome. And we're going to have a special sticker for you for being a guest. You are now elevated to the rank of digger, just so you know. And you're going to be the first one that receives it on the air or right after being on the air.
Oh,
So,
awesome. Thank you so much.
well, thank you all for listening to all my listeners. And I hope you have a good rest of your day.